Hello everyone. So we are looking at Sicut Cervus, which is a piece by Palestrina, and it comes in two sections, which is the prima pars and the secunda pars, and I'm assuming that it's kind of obvious that means, of course, the first part and the second part. And we're only going to be looking at the prima pars. And rather than go into the history and all that, what I'd like to talk to you about is what's important to you today when you are looking at Sicut Cervus. And what's important to you is something called point of imitation. And by that, what I mean is that some parts of this music are going to start off a certain way, and then another voice will take that and will go with that, and another voice will take that and go with it. So there's a point where the voices all imitate each other. So for example, in this piece, you will hear the tenor line starting off with the opening motive of and then later you will hear the soprano line going the following, and it's a few bars down the road. 1, 2. You'll have a lot of moments like this where the piece kind of winds around each line. So what's important to know about this is you can't rely on the other voice parts as much as you would in the kind of pieces that we normally do, which is why early music is considered really, really hard, and it's why I tend to avoid it. But I feel that we're getting to a point now where we can go ahead and try a piece, and this is a really famous one, and it's a piece it's challenging. I'm not gonna lie, it's a challenging piece. This one's not easy, it's hard. But I think that we can work on it for a while and we can get it. It's just gonna take us some time. But we need to know the following things. We have to be really good at counting in this piece. We have to be able to feel the beat the whole way through. We cannot get off the beat at all. And here's why. There's nowhere to go if you get lost. You can't listen to the sound of the sopranos on the same word and try and find your pitch off of that, because they're not on the same word. They're not on the same phrase. They're doing their own thing completely, and they are not going to be following along with you at all. So if you get lost, this is the kind of piece where you'll never be found again. At least not until a cadential point where we all kind of come together, which will happen, but not that often, and not before it's kind of obvious that you're lost. So we have to count. We have to know our pitches really well, and we have to know how those pitches match the pitches around us. And we're not singing the same words as the other people around us at any given time. We all have the same text, but we might be singing the word desiderat when somebody else is singing the word aqua. So we have the same line of text, the same poetry, but we all have it at different times. So when we're looking at early music, this is a really good example of what we're going to find. And so I want us to be aware about it in advance. So we need to know our pitches, we need to know our rhythms, we need to be counting the whole time, we need to be watching the conductor for the entrances, and we need to know where we can get back to if we do get off from each other, where we can find our way home again. There are certain points where you can. So your job is to learn these things. So we're going to work through that. But to get started, these videos are for you to go over the individual voice parts. And we will go from there. It's going to be a learning process, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to working with you on this particular piece. This is really a big masterpiece in the choral world. We all know it, we all love it, and it is probably one of the most famous pieces ever written. So the fact that we get to do this is going to be a lot of fun, and I really hope you enjoy it.